Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to Lotus Heart Tarot. I am so happy to have you here. Gosh, I'm feeling so uplifted today and so positive, even though it's so yucky and dreary outside. And in fact, in Florida, where I live, it's very rarely gloom and doom multiple days in a row. I mean, maybe an hour or two in the afternoon, sometimes, 6 hours, we'll have some kind of storm. And even hurricanes, though, roll through within a day, ultimately. This has been day after day of doom and gloom, but I don't know, there's some irony in all of it because I don't know how to really say what I'm trying to say, but I just was really struck with this messaging this morning when I was meditating. I've actually not allowed myself to even scroll on social media or scroll on YouTube or it's just, as an American, I'm just having a moment where it's like, I don't want to look, I don't want to see, I don't want to know, I can't do anything about it at this exact moment. I tried. And so I have been really insulating myself and protecting myself and really nurturing my creative spirit within myself and trying to, it's like the Three of Wands, right? I'm looking toward the future that I want to create, and I'm looking toward the future that I'm building and that I'm contributing to. And, sometimes we do that on a very zoomed in level, and sometimes we do that on a very zoomed out level. And I feel like I'm kind of zoomed in right now, inward even. And it's such a beautiful thing when you recognize and realize that you're taking shelter and solace within yourself, that you have created something within yourself that you find so peaceful and interesting even that you can take shelter there and be fulfilled and be happy. And so I don't know, maybe some of you are experiencing that. Maybe some of you are going through a bit of a shaky time or a bit of a thing where things external to you are sort of making you feel a little I don't know, insecure possibly could be the word, or sorry, I'm lighting an incense. I just want to move the energy. But, or just insecure has so many connotations with it. We say it a lot here on the channel. We talk about, people projecting their insecurities onto you, and that is the thing about the external world. It will always do that. It will always project its fear and its insecurity onto you. And so you have to sort of create this shelter, this safe harbor within yourself, for yourself, right? That is stable and strong and that you can always kind of come back to and return to when the outside world, gets to be a bit, And I think that's just what I'm noticing and what my awareness is. And when you are fortunate enough to expand that bubble out and out, right? Like I have my husband, I have my dog, I have my kids, these people that can exist within that bubble in a really peaceful, harmonious way. That's a luxury, that's something to give constant thanks for, right? And so, I don't know, that's where I'm at today. And that's where we are as we start this reading. And I'm pretty excited about it. And I'm just feeling really at peace. And I hope that you are too. I always ask that my readings help to even bring peace and clarity to all those who watch them. So anyway, I just want to wish all of you peace and love and happiness and blessings and abundance. Truly and from my heart, I wish that for all of you. So let's dive in. I want to thank the people that watch my videos, who like, share, who comment, who have subscribed. I deeply appreciate the ways that you support the channel. I am super duper thankful for you all. I don't want a day to go by without me letting you know that. So that's why we're here now. If you're new to the channel, welcome, welcome. I hope that you do find a reading that resonates with you, something in the reading that resonates with you, something that helps, something that brings you peace and clarity or eases your suffering. If you do, I hope that you'll subscribe and continue to join us and be a part of this community. Yeah, and definitely let me know in the comments. I appreciate it. All right, here we go. For Pisces, please, Spirit. For Pisces, what does Pisces need to know right now? Okay, the incense is going straight up my nose. I feel like I'm going to sneeze. Okay, Pisces. I feel like some of you are in deep contemplation. I feel that way because of the meditation, because of the observations I was making about the energy and about my own energy and about the collective energy and about, you know, like, just sometimes it's okay to insulate yourself and protect yourself and reconnect with yourself and reestablish the importance of that. Some of you may be in a relationship or kind of coming together with someone, or you may be socializing. You may even be like online dating or, you know, kind of just really starting to put yourself out there or thinking about putting yourself out there more and more. You have this pick and choose card, and there's a lot of hats here. And for part of it, it's making me feel like, okay, there are many, we all wear many hats, right? We're many things to many people. And they're all hanging up, though. It's interesting. Some of you may have had a really boisterous social season for a moment there, maybe with the holidays, maybe before the holidays. There's something about needing to take care of oneself, like to insulate oneself from the outside world. And there's this energy of rethinking it, which is just giving me this sense of contemplation, of almost like making sure that, yeah, this is what I want, or yeah, this is really meeting my needs, or this is really making me happy, or it's almost like it's a new year, and it's like, are the things that were in alignment or felt in alignment with me at the end of last year still in alignment with me in 2025, you know? Which seems maybe a little dramatic since 2024 was just a few short weeks ago, but it does feel like, okay, you know, how's this going for me? How's this working out for me? And, you know, with the hats hanging on the wall, and I'm like, these many hats, it's making me feel that, like, sometimes life feels a bit like a song and dance, you know, like, okay, you know, I got to go to work, I got to show up, I got to be this person. Then I got to, you know, I don't know, maybe some of you have kids, you got to go pick up the kids, and then I got to be that person. And then it's like, da 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 da. And this may be even like needing or feeling like we need, or just taking more time for ourselves, putting the hats up on the wall and sort of, you know, letting things flow and just prioritizing ourselves here. You definitely have someone who is interested in you. at least one person. You do have the energy of pick and choose right next to the seductress, so it can be that you have multiple people interested in you, or that you may have had this real social moment where you met a lot of people, and some of those people may still be thinking about that interaction. I don't think you're pursuing anything. I think you're just, it's almost, I feel this energy of an enigma. It's like you're showing up, you know, like other people might be more in an energy to like, well, you met this person, well, you should go and try to look them up on social media, or you should. And it's like, no, you know what? If they're that interested, they'll find me. It's that kind of energy. And then you have this faith and prayer. And it feels as though it's like, I do want someone in my life, but I also know that it isn't worth my peace. You know, it's not worth, it's not worth my peace. And so there's this surrender. It's like, I'm not going to chase it. I'm not going to pursue it. I'm not going to try to force it or make it happen or look for it and try to find it. I'm going to just put it out into the universe or put it in the divine's hands. And then I am going to sort of become that frequency, align with that frequency, and see what happens. But I refuse to give up this sense of peace. You have this afterlife card, and it says, a passed on loved one says hello, an infinite connection in soul. If not in this lifetime, it will be the next. Old souls, a love that defies time, forever connected. This can be where you have a soulmate coming in. It can also even be where we have a passed away loved one helping us, guiding us towards someone, or guiding them toward us. I once in meditation saw this imagery of a friend's grandmother pushing someone, a soulmate, towards her in her life. And I got this message from her grandmother that, like, yes, we can do that. Yes, we can. You know, look for the signs and the synchronicity surrounding something. So I don't know, you know, take it as it resonates. But from that afterlife card, I'm definitely getting the entrance of, or the companionship of, a soulmate, the uncovering of the layers of the soul connection even. Someone may have sent this person to you. It was funny, in the same message, my friend's grandmother told her, like, showed me that she had her fur coat, which I never knew, and told her to get it repaired, that there were like holes in it, or in the lining or something, like it needed to be repaired. And I said to my friend, do you have your grandmother's coat, a fur coat? And she said, yeah, it's at my parents' house. And I said, does it have like holes in the lining? Like, does it need to be repaired? And she said, yeah. And I said, well, she said you better repair it. Like, she sees you wearing it. And it was interesting. She didn't get it repaired. I was like, what are you doing? But let's see. Yeah, some of you truly have not met this person yet. Some of you don't know who they are. Oh, wow. I have said social media more in this reading than I normally say social media. in a reading and we're only on our second deck of cards and social media comes out. So I'm just going to say there's a heavy emphasis for some of you on social media. This may be, for some of you, you may have turned off your social media, or you may not be paying attention to your social media. You may have turned off your notifications, you know, and someone may be trying to reach you. You might want to check it if that's the case. For others of you, there may be someone who has found you on social media. If your profile is public, they may be scoping you out or watching you. There's this energy of either someone not, you know, totally coming forward or calling attention to the fact that they're possibly watching you on social media. Or this can be somebody that you haven't met yet, or this can be somebody that you met that found you on social media that thinks about clicking, you know, connect or whatever, friend or however it goes. I don't even know. But they haven't yet. And it almost feels like so much time passes that they're almost uncomfortable. Like they almost feel like it's odd doing it. You have this discernment, ascension, and divine feminine, which really feels like this. When we are ascending, sometimes it's exhausting. You know, I mean, look, this is a staircase. And I don't know, like, there's an energy of really needing to take care of oneself in the process, you know, recognizing that, you know, hard work, it's interesting. Hard work can be like literally scrubbing a floor with a rag, you know what I mean? And like, wow, it's hard work. Like I'm laboring through this process of cleaning, right? But hard work can also be really unseen and unfelt and exhausting. You know, when I work with my cerebral spinal fluid and try to really, I basically bliss myself out with yoga and then, and frequency. And that's when I have those readings that are sort of like off the chain. It's hard work, but it's not something, and it's draining and it's exhausting. That's why I can't do it every day. But you can't really see the hard work. I mean, yeah, you can see the yoga, but that's not, you know, unusual for me. But how do I even want to say this? It's like spiritual work is hard work. Protecting ourselves spiritually, protecting our energy, you know, all of these things. It's actually work. It's actually effort. Okay, I don't know if this is true or not, but I'm just getting this message of like, you know, that work that we do that's spiritual like that, where we're protecting our energy or where we're allowing ourselves to ascend or where we're kind of allowing ourselves to rest and we're, but yet we're very spiritually active. It's kind of giving me that is what it's like for our passed away loved ones who are trying to, you know, put coins in our life or make lights flash or computer screens flash. Maybe some of you are experiencing that. It's like the same kind of energy is what it's showing me and that they use to do that. I don't know, take it as it resonates. Anyway, it is hard work and sometimes we don't recognize it. And sometimes it's like we can be going about our daily life and be more exhausted than we normally are with doing the same things that we always do. And sometimes that's because we are going through some kind of spiritual ascension, some type of spiritual awakening, We are, you know, energetically opening to different realms or to different dimensions. Anyway, whatever this energy is, it is kind of culminating in this divine feminine energy where we are ready to receive something. I feel it is a gift from the other side. I feel like it is something that we have been wanting or searching for, something that is going to quench a deep yearning within us. And it is saying, with the discernment and the pick and choose card, it is saying, you know, you only have so much energy. Choose where you're putting it. Choose what you're giving it to. You know, don't be afraid to cut off the things that feel more draining than necessary. Or the things that maybe you have let exist in your life that haven't been good for you, or that aren't reciprocal for you. Like you're giving to it, but it's not giving to you. Or, you know, the friendships where, you know, you have that friend that makes a snide remark that you let roll off your back. Because I think it is kind of coming to a place where either there is a blow up, you know, like either there is this moment of like, I just can't take this anymore. I can't deal with it anymore. And all of the times that we let it go, like kind of come together and sort of go at the same moment. And that feels very much like a reaction or something that could potentially cost you your peace. And so it's like, be mindful of these things, be mindful that they are taking a toll, and that energy is going somewhere, and that you do have the power to be discerning. Discernment is a word we associate with the Queen of Swords. And what does the Queen of Swords do? She cuts things off. I mean, it sounds very harsh and it sounds very brutal, but that's what I'm getting. This is about protecting your energy. You have some kind of gift coming in, or there is a gift unfolding in your life right now. And it feels as though there's almost this call to recognize that there's more than that's happening than what you can see or that can be seen. And it may be taking place on a very spiritual plane. All right. I do feel like there is, you may have, I mean, honestly, you could have more than one person that's interested in you. I mean, and this can even be like, if you are online dating, you may be communicating with more than one person. I feel like Spirit is saying, hey, you know, how about make a really high quality response to the person that you're most excited to hear from? Rather than keeping all these tabs open, just whittle it down to the one you're really interested in and put the energy there. I don't know. All right, here we go. Okay. Your message is wow, what a slip though. Life is forever changing in accordance with nature's divine will. May we lovingly embrace life's changing seasons in the knowledge that all is as it should be, and that love is all there is. Ooh, okay. Okay. On the bottom of the deck, you have, your smile illuminates my soul. It makes me feel whole. There is no part of me that your love cannot fill. From the first moment we met, I am forever grateful, and I count my blessings each day, beloved Jewel. Guys, you're either, this is like someone who knows the moment they lay eyes on you. It could be someone that you met recently. It could be, I mean, this, I don't want to put parameters on it. You know, this is a general reading. I feel like it could be anyone, and it can be someone that you haven't met yet. But with the divine feminine energy and this card here that's saying, you know, maybe lovingly embrace life's changing seasons. This is like being open to whatever comes, being open to endings and beginnings, and knowing that that is how it should be. Wow. Okay. I'm going to leave that there. I feel like don't overanalyze or explain here. Okay. So let's dive into the tarot. Let's do it. For Pisces, please, Spirit. I always know there's soulmate energy when I reach for this deck. It's called the Lover's Path Tarot. And whenever I reach for it, I know. for Pisces. Seven of Wands on the bottom. Wow, the Three of Wands. I literally started this reading off by talking about the Three of Wands. Wow, and then you have oppression, which is the Tower, and you have the Two of Coins. You know, there's almost this energy with the Two of Coins and the Tower. And of course, you know, I'll clarify the Tower, but there's this energy of, oh my God, it says Dido on the top of the card. And do you guys remember there's a song by Dido called White Flag? I can hear it. Every time I can hear it. Something is giving me this overwhelming sense of gratitude. I don't know. Here we go. So the thing is that with the Two of Pentacles, you know, sometimes things can be imbalanced, right? And we can work really hard to try to keep them from falling apart. You know, we can, you know, we sort of dedicate our energy or our focus toward, you know, holding things together or keeping them from falling apart. And sometimes we're better served just letting it fall apart and then building it. But there's this energy of, with the Two of Coins, you know, this is always my choice between love and fear. And they feel almost like they're in concert with each other here in the fact that, well, you know, I have an affinity for what I built because I built it, because I've invested so much, because I worked so hard to build this tower, right? And on the other hand, I have this fear, you know, I know what this is. I know the flaws that are in it. I built it myself with my own two hands. No one knows the flaws more than I know the flaws. And so I'm afraid to let it go because I'm also afraid of what may come or what may be there or what may not ever come or what may not ever be there. But do you see in this particular tower, there's this boat right here and it feels like it's coming in. You know, like it's trying to, and I almost feel about this tower that it's acting as a lighthouse. That it's almost like the beacon saying to the ship, this is where to come. This is where they are. And you know, the story of Queen Dido of Carthage and Aeneas, he was a soldier and he was actually on that boat, and she had fallen asleep on the shore and she woke up and was found by him, and she was completely charmed and fell in love. But he was distracted. You know, he had a mission he felt he was on, and that was, you know, to fight this war. And he eventually sailed away with his soldiers off to war. You know, his priority, his allegiance, no matter how much he loved her or felt charmed even by her, and no matter how much he knew she loved him, his allegiance was to his cause and to his soldiers and to his men rather than to her. So it could be a situation where there is a relationship, or there had been a relationship in your life where someone was proving to you over and over again that they weren't really choosing you, and it was making you feel imbalanced, but yet you were still trying to hold it together, keep it from falling apart because you knew what it was, because you had built it, because you had, you know, but I am feeling this sense of gratitude that it falls. Whether it's today, tomorrow, a year from now, whatever, there's this sense of, you know, kind of knowing that you deserve someone that chooses you over the cause, or someone that finds a way to make space for you in their pursuit. And anyone that can't or doesn't, maybe they're not the one. And it's also saying to me, you know, the Tower is divine intervention. It is, you know, where the universe comes in and says, hey, you know, you deserve more than this. And you may not know it, but I always know it. And this is going to fall apart because you're trying to save it and you're trying to hold on to it, and it's not meant to last. And just like I was talking about the Three of Wands in the beginning of this reading, there's this energy of saying, you know, the whole world can kind of go to hell, but like if I can climb within myself and I can still envision the future, you know, a future that I am excited to build, a future that I'm passionate about, a future that I desire, and I can still bring my focus to that and hold a space of light for what's in front of me, not what's around me and not what's behind me, but this moment right now, and what in this moment right now I am working to create for my tomorrow. You can let anything go when you do that. When you make that choice, when you choose to kind of move in that direction. And you know, with this Three of Wands, you know, the Three of Wands also talks about the ship coming in, and it talks about being patient and waiting for that space, that vision that you hold for yourself, that manifestation, that visualization to become a part of your reality. This is where that happens. And you can see that that's happening. And the Four of Wands is where we actually receive the answer to our prayer, right? Or the result of our manifestation, the physical incarnation of our manifestation. You have the Seven of Wands on the bottom of the deck. And this, there are so many, you know, meanings and energies associated with the Seven of Wands. But in this particular card, you know, he's here fighting this dragon. And this just feels so much like the energy I was talking about. It's like sometimes the outside world is harsh, is brutal. It will, you know, hold the flame on you, right? Have you guys seen that? I think it's on Instagram. I'm not really sure. But they hold a piece of paper in front of a flame and it catches flame and it burns, and it you know, it does what you know would happen if paper caught on fire, right? And then they take the same paper and they wrap it around a cup, a glass cup, a glass, I guess is what you should say. Or I should say, and they put that into the flame, and it turns black, but it doesn't burn. I forget what the caption of the whole thing is, or why they even do it, or it's like I get these little science things. I actually really love nature and science, and so I'm always like watching those things. And I, for whatever reason, with his wand, I'm like, you know, of all the things to protect yourself with against a fire-breathing dragon, I feel like a wand would be the most useless. You know, a sword would be more helpful. A cup full of water might be helpful. A pentacle as a shield might be helpful, but a wand, really? And that's what I'm feeling. And yet, at the same time, you see that the fire is not burning the wand. And so, and when as I was even describing it to you, that science experiment, and I was seeing the paper turn black, I was seeing alchemy happen. I was seeing a change in the nature of the paper, right? I was witnessing it. And this is a form of protection where we have this potential to go through a change, where we are protecting ourselves from the outside world, from a change that we don't want, right? Because the outside world will sometimes tear you down. The outside world will sometimes steal your inspiration and steal your aspiration and steal your hope and steal your optimism, right? That's what I was talking about in the beginning of this reading. And it will shake you up inside and make you feel like things are just not right, and that it's not okay, and that, you know, and that, oh my gosh, you know, maybe we're headed for, you know, a dystopian future or whatever. I try not to go that dramatic or go down that path, right? But I insulate myself, I protect myself, right? Well, like the Seven of Wands, this is me not watching social media. This is me saying, you know what, I refuse to allow you to affect me. I know what you are, and I know that you will fill me full of fear and full of rage and full of anger and full of, you know, all these things that I'm not willing to be. My peace is not worth it. When I'm in a state of peace, I can affect change, however small. You know, I can put out these videos and I can make them from a place of peace and love. And in that way, I can spread the energy of peace and love. But if I let the outside world come in and make me angry and make me bitter and make me, you know, discompassionate and disconnected from myself and from my true nature, then what good am I to anyone? All I will do is spread the rage, the anger, the fear, right? So that's what I'm getting. And underneath the Seven of Wands, you have the Four of Pentacles, almost as if like a double layer of protection, right? You know, a double layer of you know, guarding oneself, right? So this may be a vision spot that you hold for yourself. This may be something that you've gone through that maybe even you faced alone. And then there is this sense of maybe you're waiting for this person to come back for some of you. For others of you, you may be waiting for this new energy that you have been manifesting, or, you know, the type of future that you've wanted to create. You've been actively creating it with your present moment. And now it's like you're starting to see those things come in, including maybe a particular soulmate. It may be time to open up. You know, maybe you have been protecting yourself, but this may be the time to become the divine feminine. And what is feminine energy? It's receptive energy. It's where we open up to receive. You may have been protecting yourself. Wow. Oh my God. Oh my God. You have the Empress on the bottom of the deck. You may have been protecting yourself. Oh my gosh. Whew. After a time of, you know, where you felt very vulnerable. And you may have even felt fear. You may have even felt, wow, that was it. That was my chance with a soulmate, or that was the best I was ever going to get. Or, you know, without that person, I can't be happy. You know, with the Nine of Swords and the Sun card, the Sun represents happiness. And sometimes our fear is that if I lose this, I'll never be happy again, or I'll never be happy like that again, which is a fear, and fear is an illusion. That is always an illusion. You can always be happy like that again. You know, as we remember, I'm getting the oddest messages today. Well, I don't want to judge. I welcome them. There's this sense of, you know, how when you recall an incident where there was great suffering, your body doesn't know the difference between you recalling it and the experience of having lived it, right? So you can go through, your body sort of goes through the suffering response. And what I'm getting is, when you remember a time of being in the sun, when you remember a time of great passion, of great love, of great healing, of like prosperity and abundance, when the sun was shining on you, your body doesn't know the difference then either. Take it as it resonates. Anyway, what I'm getting here is, yeah, there's this period of healing. And what happens with fear is that when we look at fear, like, let me try to think of a fear. Well, I'm terrified of snakes, right? So you know, and I was a nature photographer for a long, long time in Florida, where we have a crap ton of snakes, and you know, the mid-Atlantic area where there are a ton of snakes. Poisonous, very, very scary, frightening snakes. In Florida, we even have, you know, anacondas and boa constrictors. I mean, those are the truly most terrifying snakes. And I used to photograph around the headwaters of the Everglades a lot, where, you know, people find those snakes eating their hens, you know, dead with the hens in the stomach still undigested, or like in a state of hibernation with the hens still in their stomach. Anyway, I don't even know why I went there. I am so terrified. But when I have ever encountered a snake in the wild, which I have, and I have encountered poisonous snakes in the wild, and I've encountered alligators very close up in the wild, they've always gone the other direction. They've never been interested in me. And not to say that that would always happen, and not that I'm encouraging you not to be afraid, but you know, what we fear, the more we dwell on it, the more we sort of allow it to exist, the more power it has over us. But when we shine the light on it, like the sun, when we bring clarity to it, when we really look at it and we go, why are we afraid of it? What can it really do to us? What are the chances of it actually doing that to us? You know, our fear starts to ease. Our fear starts to dissipate. It starts to shrink. And we start to realize how silly it would be, right, if we allowed that fear to stop us from doing what we feel called to do. Or doing, even in my case, what we love to do. I remember I saw a particularly poisonous snake, and so after that, and I was going to a place where there's a whole field of palmettos, which are notoriously, like, you'll find snake skin sheddings in there. Oh God, this is horrible if you're afraid of snakes, I'm sorry. And so I was really, really terrified of going on this one particular shoot. So I asked my husband to come with me. Like, I don't know what he's going to do. But I was like, can you please come with me? But he wasn't afraid. And I think that him not being afraid just made me feel less afraid. But he walked in front of me and carried my tripod for me. And I have quite a monstrous tripod. I mean, it's lightweight, it's carbon fiber, but it's like a heavy duty piece of equipment. It's one of my most important pieces of equipment. And he was like, don't worry, babe. If a snake comes out, I'll get it with the tripod. And, you know, here I am behind him with all my gear on my back, you know, and, I'm just like, okay. And I'm watching his feet, and I'm putting my feet exactly where he puts his feet. He gets a call from work, and honestly, we're like out in this nature preserve, way, way, way out. And I'm like, I can't believe his phone is working. And I'm like, surely he's going to lose service at some point. No, he's like literally on this phone call to work, just trudging through this palmetto. Like, I was like, can you stop talking and pay attention? And he's like, we're fine, don't worry about it. And he's like solving all the problems of the universe and just walking ahead of me. And I was starting to get anxious because I felt like he wasn't paying attention. But then I was like, he's actually literally not afraid. He could not be less afraid. And so why am I back here, you know, freaking out over the thing, and letting it rattle me, and letting it, you know, even cause me to sort of, you know, think about my husband, like, he doesn't care about me, like, he's not even paying attention about the snakes, and like, he knows how scared I am, and I just saw that snake. And you know what I mean? It's like the things that we let fear do once it gets inside our mind, right? With that sword, right? It's inside of our mind, and it grows and it expands, and it can make us be silly. It can make us be out of character. It can make us miss out on things, you know? And it's funny because I see this King of Pentacles, and clarifying the Three of Wands, and it's like, you know, it's almost this desire for someone who is solid and steady, who is not afraid, who is, you know, ready for a commitment, who is someone who is going to show up, male or female, it matters not. It's an energy of someone who's got a secure attachment style, who's you know, going to reflect our light back to us, right? Who's going to show up ready and willing and able, who's not going to be torn over a cause that they feel they're so connected to, the mission that they're on, that it forces them to not be able to be present for us, or not be able to be, you know, committed or there for us, you know. This is someone who would never leave Dido on the beach, you know. He would find a way because he knows there is one. He knows there is one. He's solid and secure enough to know that there is a way. And with the World card here, this is the end. This is like, we're not looking anymore. We found it. We found what we it's not even, we're not looking because we found it. It's literally, I'm getting, we manifested it and it has arrived. And now it's the end of that stage of not knowing who, of not knowing when, of not knowing how, of not knowing how they smell or how they look or what their name is or what their face looks like or feels like. You know, here they have arrived and they're ready. And so the questions are over. When someone shows up and they're ready and they have a secure attachment style and you have a secure attachment style and you have some things in common and they are the answer to your manifestation, well then of course it's going to work. Of course that's the end. This person may have helped you work through your fears or realize them, bring them into the conscious moment. Wow, yeah. You have a happiness that's coming. Oh my, is it ever coming? You have a happiness that's coming that is something that you've earned, you deserve. You worked hard for. It feels like a soul contract. It feels as though it comes in when you have found this happiness within yourself. It's interesting because the Justice card is the story of Penelope and Odysseus in this deck. And in that deck, in that story, you know, Odysseus is called away for a long period of time, and Penelope, wanting to remain loyal to him and wanting to be with him and only him, you know, waits for him. And she has all of these other suitors coming towards her that are interested in her and that want to pursue her. And she comes up with all these creative ways to sort of throw them off. And Odysseus comes back and he wins a competition and he gets to be back with Penelope. And it all works out in the end. And whether it is someone returning or whether this is someone new coming in, right? It is the energy of, I don't know, I got like mission accomplished. You know, it is the energy of the World card. Of, you know, being one with all that is and coming to that sense of completion. With the Princess of Staves on the bottom of the deck, this is the Page of Wands. And it does feel like this is the path that you have always wanted to take. And just having the opportunity to take it fills you with such joy, which fills you with such happiness, with such satisfaction is the word that I get. Wow. Look at this, the irony of that. The Princess of Wands and the Knight of Wands. Wow. You have the Ace of Swords, the Six of Wands, and the Star card clarifying the Justice card. You know, this may be where someone actually offers you some kind of commitment or some kind of contract. You know, it is... it has all the signature earmarks or something is what's coming to me for whatever reason. I don't know, maybe someone that you are with actually writes contracts or deals with contracts or something like that. Like I'm getting like this formality in my speech or this like technicality feeling. But it is like with the Justice card and the Ace of Swords and the Six of Wands. The Six of Wands was a card that represented engagement at one point, you know, someone asking you to be their wife. And whether this is someone who, you know, you are in a relationship with who is literally proposing, or whether this is someone proposing some kind of commitment or some kind of, you know, it actually feels to me like someone who is very serious. And so when they propose anything, they're sort of almost proposing everything. It's like, you know, I'm doing this with the, like, I don't take this lightly. Like, I'm not asking you to be my girlfriend or my boyfriend for, you know, a couple of months, right, where we're just mutually exclusive. I'm doing this with the intention that when the time comes, I will elevate you higher. Like, I will pledge my life to you. Like, this is the precursor of that. It's like it's like a pledge. I don't know. And then you have the Star card here where it's kind of like, you know, we're clarifying the Justice card, and the Justice card is those scales, right? And it's kind of like this seriousness of my offer to you is directly proportionate to, you know, how I see you as my wish fulfillment. Or it is like me verbally or formally pronouncing that you are my wish fulfillment. Do you see what I'm saying? It's like, it's the recognition of that outwardly or formally. With the Nine of Cups and the Knight of Wands, it's like what you've always wanted is for someone to passionately pursue you, or someone to be so sure that you are the one that they almost can't help themselves. They're so drawn to you. And with the Ten of Swords on the bottom of the deck, it's almost giving me this, like, this gesture, this commitment, this, whatever this is the formal and completion of what has been a really difficult cycle. Mentally, emotionally, you with others. It's all those wonderings, you know, am I worthy? Will anyone ever want me this way? Will anyone ever see me in that light? It's the answer to all of those things. It is like, yes, you know, you can let that go. You can let those questions, those thoughts, those ideas even go, because this person's making it so clear to you. And that may be your wish fulfillment. Cupid strikes. You have the star card energy again on the bottom of the deck here. It's called Grace in this deck, but it is the star card energy. You know, the Queen of Arrows is just laying here, right? She's not actively doing anything. Yeah, she's got an arrow in her hands, but she's not putting it in a bow. She's not looking, searching, aiming, trying. She's not flailing about trying to get someone's attention. She's relaxed. She's surrendered, you know, and she isn't in an energy of settling in any way, shape, or form. She's content and fine here on the banks of this river by herself. Venus, it says on this card, right? This is a card of Libra. Venus is Libra's ruling planet. I don't know if you guys can see this, but that there are, you know, it says Venus and it says Cupid. But she has faith that what she is seeking her. She has faith in the idea that when it is time, when it is right, the right person will come along and she will have the sense about her, the knowledge about her from all of her past experiences to know that, yeah, this is it. This is the one I've been waiting for. This is my wish fulfillment. And yeah, she may even trust that there is a Cupid, or that there is, oh my God, I have these friends that got married that met on OkCupid, the website. I don't know, you guys. I just got this, like, one night we were joking around. We had a few drinks, and it was like a big group of us, and the two of them were all creatives. And we were sitting there, and we were talking about, we were like, storyboarding commercials for OkCupid, just like for fun, revolving around this couple that had just gotten married. And anyway, I don't know, that just flashed so strongly in front of my eyes with this Cupid card. Not that I'm saying everybody go out and get on OkCupid. I have never done online dating. I've heard it is treacherous and terrible, and I'm in no way recommending it, but definitely there is some type of computer thing or some kind of like social media or some kind of thing like that, an energy that is thick in this reading. You have this energy with the Prince of Arrows, where someone may already be watching. You know, we saw that vacant here, and I definitely got the Page of Swords vibe here, where it's like someone, you know, that you may have met in person, maybe, you know, has actually looked you up online, like you're totally unaware of it, and they may be getting ready to make some kind of move or reach out to you in some kind of way. This could also be someone who has been watching you or has been admiring, who you may even have some level of conversation with lightly, even, that's getting ready to like ask you out. But there's this energy of detachment with the Queen of Arrows, I guess is what I want to say, where it's like she's okay if they do and she's okay if they don't. You know, she's not the same fearful little Dido that fell in love with a man who couldn't show up for her, really. His allegiance was always in a different direction. This is someone who is consciously, mindfully, not just happening upon her on a beach, right? He's like watching her and carefully getting ready to take aim, choosing his words, choosing his timing. this is the story. The star card is Dante and Beatrice. This is the story of how Beatrice was left such an impression on Dante that he felt really like she was an angel. And he actually could not speak when they met. He felt his spirit was so infused with light, having her just enter into his space, that he was unable to speak. And since he said nothing, she didn't suspect that he had any feelings for her or that he was interested in her. And so she actually wed another person. And he was convinced that his love for her was so great that it would transcend this life and it would last forever. And that maybe it was too much for this earthly world. I'm really struck by when they met, he was unable to speak because he was so interested. You just don't know, do ya? These people you're meeting. Oh my gosh. Some of you may be dealing with a Libra. Oh wow, yeah, there's definitely some kind of communication coming in. You have the Queen of Arrows, which is the Queen of Swords, being clarified by the Ten of Pentacles and the Empress. The Empress is also ruled by the planet Venus. So I don't know what's going on with Venus, but if you're into astrology or you know something about that, or you know something that's up with Venus and you want to share it by putting it in the comments, maybe do that, because Venus is definitely playing a role here. Or if you're just interested in it and you want to look at it yourself, maybe Venus is making some kind of transition. Maybe it's conjunct or sextile or something positive with some other planet. I'm not really sure what's happening here. Maybe there was something recently. But there is something here where it may even be the level of detachment that this Queen of Swords is showing is sort of almost illuminating to someone else that this is the one that they want. Like maybe they're used to someone who, they're used to other people pursuing them. They're used to being, yeah, I'm really picking up on this. I also just got a stick shift car. Okay, so I don't know what that's about. I drive a stick shift car, but I don't know what that's about. The thing is here that there is this energy of where it's like I feel an energy of wanting to impress. Almost like wanting to prove I'm good enough. Or it's almost that energy from yesterday's You and Them reading. If you haven't watched that, not very many people watch that video. And honestly, I was sort of blown away by that video myself. Just the way that it felt while I was doing it, honestly. But on the bottom of the deck, there was this energy of being spoiled, and the feminine, it had this field of abundance in front of her, and she was like looking over her shoulder, like looking back at this person. I'm getting the exact same feeling here. It's kind of like this masculine may have, you know, come at this feminine with a certain type of attitude or a certain type of approach that like maybe usually worked, or like maybe was like his bread and butter, or what he felt was his kind of go-to move, or his strength, or the thing that made him irresistible to women, or this is what he did when he wanted to impress someone. because I do feel this impression, like I want to impress energy here. And it's like the feminine may have not noticed that he was trying to impress her, or may not have, it may just be something that's not that impressive to her for whatever reason. Maybe it's just not her love language, or maybe it's just, maybe she already has that herself, you know, she already is that. But you can see with the Ten of Pentacles and the Empress, it's like, I don't know, for some reason, it's making this other person, the masculine, I feel, but take it as it resonates, feel like almost more that they want to impress them even more, or even more like this must be the one, because she's not reacting the way other people react. And it's almost like when people react to the thing that he normally is, he gets at first a sense of satisfaction of like, yeah, okay, right, of course. But then he gets this sense of sadness of like, okay, so that's what this is going to be. You know, I understand there's probably an expiration date here, or I understand I will always be this to you. But this feminine is like, just doesn't notice, or is detached, or is unimpressed, or is like, okay, whatever. You know what I mean? With the Cupid energy, the Page of Swords, with the Six of Pentacles, is making this person dig deep. It's making them ask themselves, what else do I have to offer? You know what I mean? And it's an interesting, very interesting energy. And so there's this energy of sort of like, I'll feel it out with the Six of Pentacles. I'll see what she has to offer, and or what she's interested in, or what her currency is. And then I'll do my best to offer her that, to keep it even, to reciprocate. But I have to get that chance to get to know what that is. And so with the Page of Swords, they may be looking on social media to try to see what's important to you. What are you posting about? What are you about? What impression are you giving? You know, and sort of like trying to figure you out in that way, to figure out what it is that you want. You've got the Eight of Wands here. There's some kind of major conversation coming. Could be about, you know, an equal give and take, some kind of commitment. Damn. Oh my God. Okay. This could be a fire sign. You also had Aquarius, Libra, Taurus, Scorpio, Sagittarius, I think. I'm getting this as a keeper. Oh my God, these two people fantasize about each other. These two people think about each other. I almost kind of want to say incessantly. Or maybe even at the same time. Oh God, yeah. Okay. So I feel like this masculine is really sure that they're passionate, or that they want this. They're really coming at it. They carry this energy with the Devil. It is almost, I do feel a very like fantasy oriented energy. I will take one on it because I don't like to leave devils without clarification. But it's something that this person works really hard to manage, or to, yeah, I don't know what else to say. They try to, you know, keep clear of this. They try, this can be fear, and it can be illusion, and it can even be like a tendency toward codependency or something like that, where it's like this person has learned these lessons because there are the three swords of suffering up on the wall, and he's just holding, he's got the one sword of truth underneath of himself, but he's just like in a state of peace. So he's definitely trying to keep this energy, he knows that it will only create suffering. He knows that it will only damage him. So he's trying to keep it at bay and just sort of pursue what he wants. This person may come across like they have a tremendous amount of like physical desire, or almost like an obsession, or they may feel a little bit obsessed, or a little bit more obsessed than they normally feel about this feminine. Like they can't stop thinking about her. Or it's like they fantasize a lot about her. But they do have a physical attraction and a physical desire, but they are trying to keep this energy very chivalrous, or very, like it's more than that. And they know it's more than that. And they don't want to give the impression that that's all there is. And so there's this energy of like, you know, being more willing to come forward a little bit more emotionally than maybe they normally would. And I don't mean that in a way of like just laying it on thick emotionally from the beginning, but it is like when I feel I miss you, or when I feel I'm thinking about you, I call you, I tell you, I say, you know, I miss you, you know, or whatever it is. And it's like, this may be something unusual for this person because it feels like they don't normally have to do that. But it's like, they definitely don't want this person, this feminine, to think that all they're after is something physical. You have the 10 of Cups clarified by the 8 of Cups and the Knight of Swords. And this, I actually am going to take one on this Knight of Swords. Yeah. This masculine has known, I want to say almost since the very beginning, that they could really, that they were attracted, that they were interested, that they could see something happening here with this feminine, and that they did want something solid and stable with this feminine. I think though that they felt that they couldn't rush in. They may have been walking away from another phase in their life, or they may have sort of contented themselves in the past, or just only experienced relationships in the past that ultimately kind of ran themselves out of energy, you know, like they were able to invest, they were able to go through all the beginning stages of love or whatever, but then ultimately in the end it was always just like, yeah, this isn't for me, this isn't the right thing, and they had to walk away. And you know, they may have in those connections, they may have sort of pursued things very quickly, or you know, it's almost like a sense of easy love, like, well, I know what to expect, I know that you're going to be like this, or I know that it's going to go like this, or you know, there may be interest here, or there may be this, or there may be that, but like, I know it's almost like knowing that this probably isn't going to be something that lasts forever, that eventually I am going to have to walk away. And so there's almost this energy of being a bit reckless with their heart. And also, you know, with this 8 of Swords, it's sort of this feeling I get where there's this obligatory like breakup energy, where it's like, I know I have to cut things off, I know I have to walk away from things, but it puts me in this situation where I feel very trapped and very stuck and very kind of like overwhelmed, and I keep coming back to, this isn't my person, whatever, but like I'm also just sort of ignoring it and moving forward with it until it reaches this point of sort of like no return, where it's like, I can't overlook this anymore, I absolutely have to walk away. And it's like they have been pursuing the 10 of Cups, but even they recognize and know that they were pursuing the 10 of Cups with people that were only ever really capable of the 8 of Cups. You know, it was like it's almost that they knew, you know, and that they were just sort of reckless with their heart. They were just like, well, maybe, you know, well, here and now, this is a different experience, and they understand it's a different experience. There's the 10 of Cups and the Empress here. is what we're talking about. It's like this person is consciously aware that what they're moving toward is the thing that they want, is the one, is the thing that they have this potential to actually have what they want with. And so they don't want to kind of get in their own way or to even take the same approach. And with the Four of Coins on the bottom of the deck, there is this sense that the feminine is a bit guarded. She's a bit difficult to get to. You know, she's not just opening up for everyone. She is fantasizing about this masculine. She is wondering if he's the one too, or she's feeling something. But there's this knowledge. This feminine is intelligent, or she's been through her own things. And there's kind of this, I know we need to establish a really strong foundation here. I know that this is where that happens. So I don't want to be reckless with my heart. I don't want to allow my own, like, oh my gosh, but if we don't take this step right now, you know, if we would take this, then I could feel better. Or if he would just say this, then I would feel better. Or, you know, I don't want that anxious kind of energy creeping in and causing me to be reactionary or to be needy or to be clingy or to be, you know, whatever. It's like I'm holding back here. I'm allowing this foundation to be built in its most solid way, because I know that that is how it's going to last. I know that's how I'm actually going to reach the 10 of Cups this time. With the Ace of Pentacles, here comes the offer to begin this process of building in a more significant way. All right, guys. Woo-wee. All right. Let me get you some messages. So we're taking different tactics here. We're doing things that we didn't do in the past, or that we have learned via our experiences in the past, and we're having the courage of our convictions when it comes to that. We're not self-sabotaging. We're not doing ourselves in. We're not creating something that we're eventually going to have to escape from with the Eight of Swords and the Eight of Cups. That is limited growth potential. If you're dealing with a water sign, I am inspired by you because you have a way with words. I am attracted to you because you are not afraid to tell it like it is. I am attracted to you because you respect nature and all living things. If you are dealing with a fire sign, you're getting, I am attracted to you because you are a hard worker. I admire you because you are loving and wise. I am attracted to you because you are an amazing dancer. Okay. If you are dealing with an earth sign, I am inspired by you because you are so resilient. I am attracted to you because you are so thoughtful. I am attracted to you because you make everyone smile. If you are dealing with an air sign, you are getting, I admire you because you choose to see the bright side. I love your strong ambition. I am attracted to you because you are loyal and courageous. Wow, I love this. All right, guys, this is what I have for you today. I hope it helps. I hope it brings you some peace and clarity. If it does, let me know. Like, share, subscribe, comment. I really do appreciate your support. Until next time, I send you off with all my best. Always, always, always. Bye-bye.